let's have our next speaker, Dr. Neil Bentley, who's the CEO of WorldSkills. Neil.
Hello, good afternoon. And following the previous presentation, just want to say that WorldSkills UK is very proud to be a supporter of the Asian Apprenticeships Award, and I'm proud to be an ambassador for them. And if you're hearing about this for the first time this afternoon, I'd encourage you all to get involved. It is a fantastic initiative, and we all need to do a lot more. As you've seen from the stats and the work that they're doing, it's brilliant work, and we should all be, I think, getting involved to support them and making sure that we are driving diversity from an Asian perspective into apprenticeships. But today, what I wanted to talk about is WorldSkills UK. For those of you who don't know us, we are part of a global family of organisations in 75 countries. In the UK, we work with around 100,000 young people every year, and we are about accelerating young people's career development. We do that in three ways. The first is through experiential careers advice. And some of you may have heard of the Skills Show, which is our showcase event in Birmingham every year. The second way is we organise skills competitions right across the UK, so the four nations compete with each other across 60 skill areas, and we run those, and the national finals are at the Skills Show. And the third area is we take the best of the UK and put them into a team to represent the UK in international competitions. In the last global competitions in Sao Paulo in Brazil in 2015, the UK came 7th in the medal tables, ahead of France and Germany, and ahead of where we are in OECD tables that place us 16th in the world. And just before Christmas, in the European finals, we were 7th there as well. And so we have great pedigree in terms of really championing young people and their success through skills competitions, building up not just their technical skills and ability, but also their self-confidence and their team working ability and ability to work under pressure. So really their productivity skills as well. Now, what I wanted to focus on this afternoon was, in particular, gender diversity, because WorldSkills internationally and WorldSkills UK have signed up in advance of tomorrow's International Women's Day. We signed up for the UN campaign on He for She. So male champions advocating change. So looking at how we can tackle gender segregation in skills. Now, in my background, I joined WorldSkills UK 18 months ago, so I'm a relatively new CEO. Well, my background, I've spent a lot of my professional career working on diversity. So I did my PhD in race discrimination in the workplace. When I was deputy head of the CBI, the business lobby, I did a lot of work on gender diversity and business leadership. And I was also at the same time deputy chair of Stonewall, so looking at LGBT plus diversity in all sorts of organisations. So you have in me a real advocate and somebody who understands the power of diversity and what diversity can do in changing workplaces for the better. But we do have a challenge. We know that there is huge segregation from a diversity perspective in terms of gender. Young women aren't going into apprenticeships, and where they do, they're earning less and feeling that apprenticeships and technical careers aren't necessarily for them. But to start on a positive note, change is possible. One of the things I did when I first joined last year was ask our partners who organise our skills competitions across the UK to report back to us by the end of the year on what they're doing on diversity and inclusion, in particular around gender diversity and black and ethnic minority diversity, but not limited to that. And you'll see that from that, for example, SEMTA, you will all know, who've been championing gender diversity in engineering for a long time, by focusing on this particular area, meant that in last year's national finals of the skills competitions, they had 6 out of 7 young women. They had 8 young women in the national finals, and 6 of them won medals. So not tokenism, through hard work, young women succeeding against the odds in competitions that are seen as very male. The other good news is parents get this. We did a big survey before the Skills Show last year of parents' attitudes to gender diversity and apprenticeships. And a whopping 93% of parents said they didn't care what their children did in terms of career. They just want them to be happy. They want them to pursue the career they want to pursue. What they were worried about was careers advice. 70% thought that careers advice in schools was being gender biased, and that schools were saying that apprenticeships were for boys, not for girls. And so we have a challenge from a careers advice perspective around how do we break down these stereotypes. And so we're going to do at WorldSkills UK a number of things to play our role in terms of moving this on. The first is we are looking at and extending training on inclusion and diversity right across our competition sphere. So the experts we work with from the FE sector, the judges, the coaching teams, to make sure that everybody thinks about diversity and inclusion when looking at who succeeds in our competitions. The second thing is we've required all of our competition organising partners this year to come up with diversity and inclusion action plans before we can get into the competition cycle this year, which is just opening now. And the third thing is we're going to do a lot more work working with our partners to profile the young people, young women and young people from Black and Asian minority ethnic communities, to profile them a lot more, to support the work that is going on in many places around diversity, and making sure that we have a voice in supporting them, and that we are all working together to make sure that with the young people who are coming through the competitions, going on to the national finals, and some of who will end up representing this country in international competitions this year in Abu Dhabi, in 2 years' time in Russia, in Kazan, and before that in Budapest and Hungary, that they are representing the best of the UK and the best of the diversity of our young people. So tomorrow, WorldSkills and WorldSkills UK, as I say, have signed up to the He for She campaign. 40 of the 75 members of WorldSkills have signed up to support this. And it's all about men. It's all about men standing up, male champions for change, and saying, do you know what? We are allies for gender diversity, and we can help make change happen. So one of the things I just want to ask you today, and particularly all the men in the room, is to think about, particularly a young woman who may be doing something different, and think about helping through mentoring or championing her or encouraging her to do different things, to follow the road not taken and to follow the unconventional path. And where, for example, there are young women that you know who may be considering this, enter them into our skills competitions. The skills competitions registration is open right now until the 7th of April. Anybody can get involved, but you can enter now and help boost young people's confidence, their technical ability, but their self-confidence that they can do what they want to do. Because I know that we're all here, and we're all in this room and rooms like this and conferences like this, because we believe in the power of young people to make a difference, and we all want to make a difference to their lives. So the action call this afternoon is to do something about that, and make sure that we together are smashing gender stereotypes and helping young people, whoever they are, whatever their background, wherever they're from, to pursue the careers of their choice and to pursue their career dreams, and knowing that we are here supporting and boosting and championing all of that. Thank you very much.